What's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning. And it is Friday. If you are tuning in live or if you're tuning in today is Friday, which means that we have 2 days, or Jen has 2 days where she gets to sleep, which is amazing. Today, I wore my Born to Stand Out shirt because we're going to talk about standing up for yourself. And I felt this was a very appropriate shirt. So I don't know if you could tell, but that was actually a giraffe. This is super awkward. Look here. This is a giraffe, and it is it's like a unicorn giraffe or something like that. Born to stand out. And I do, and I love it. I would never change anything about myself. And that was something you've heard me talk about my height over and over because it's just so amazing. It's so incredible. I can walk into a room and nobody will miss me. I mean, I just tell people, "Hey, look for me. I'm 6'1". And so I was born to stand out. Literally, there's nothing I can do about it. Whether I have heels on or not, I'm still taller than everyone. So I wanted to talk today about standing up for yourself because it can feel a little awkward. And last night, okay, so this is what prompted the topic. I got on this dating app the other day, and I'm usually not on dating apps because they just irritate me, the people that are on there. And I give it a try. And then after 24 hours, I'm like, this is why I hate these sites. It's like the same people, they haven't updated their photo in 7 years or whatever. Anyway, it's the same crap. I'm like, I don't like dealing with it. So I was talking to somebody, I'd never talked with them before, and we exchanged like 5 messages, like, "Hey, how are you? How's your day going?" like nothing. We didn't get anywhere. And the guy is 6'6". Okay. And in his profile, it says, "I guarantee you've never dated anyone taller than me." In my case, that's not true. That's not true. I have. But so he's 6'6". And so he says, and I said, "Well, I guarantee that I'm the tallest girl that you've ever dated." Because there are girls that are taller than me. I'm not the tallest, but I feel like there are far less of us tall women. But anyway, I don't really know the stats on all that. I'd have to check. So the guy says, "Yeah, well, you can wear 5-inch heels with me, or you can only wear," that's what he said. "You can only wear, 5-inch heels or something like that." And I said, or I can wear whatever size heels and you can be comfortable with that. and I said it in a cute way. And however he said it, I mean, it was very amicable. It wasn't, we were throwing stones at each other, but it got me thinking about standing up for yourself, because I very easily could have taken his definition of the guy should be this, the guy should be taller than the woman, which, yeah, that's my personal preference, but in no way is that the rule. There's no rule. It's just what people are comfortable with. And I do prefer to stand next to somebody who's taller than me that I'm dating, but it's not the rule. And if you wear heels, that could change. So if you want to wear 5-inch heels, but the person you're dating is only 3 inches taller than you, are you going to stop yourself from wearing 5-inch heels? So that was my point with this individual, was that, I could go wear 6-inch heels. And in fact, I'm really curious. I want to find 11-inch heels so I can be 7 feet tall. I just want to do it. I want to see what it looks like, what it feels like. I don't know. I have this idea in mind. 7 feet's a little tall, but I just like, let me just step into the shoes, do a little walk, and then I can get out of them. But I was proud of myself for standing up for my idea of what is acceptable in my own world. And again, it wasn't, well, I'm gonna wear whatever size heel I want to wear, and you're gonna have to be okay with it. Like, it was very soft-hearted and just bantering and whatever. And yes, he replied, and anyway, he said, "Oh yeah, fair enough." But sometimes we don't even realize, or people, their comments, they don't realize that maybe they have a limiting belief. And that belief is the man should be here and the woman should be here. And then when you allow them to see a bigger picture by you standing up for yourself in a kind way, then they're able to break out of that. So that's where the topic came from. I just, I don't have any shoes that are higher than 5 inch, but I want them. I want a pair of 6 inch heels. I do. I think 6. Yeah, that's gonna be my next stop. 11 is like crazy. It's crazy, but that would put me at 7 feet. It would be so cool. I would stand out like my giraffe. Anyway, all right. So how do you know? How do you even know how to stand up for yourself? First of all, what are you standing up for? You got to know yourself. Sun Tzu says, know yourself and you win all battles. Literally, you can apply that quote to like everything. Know yourself, you win all battles. Know your strengths, you win all battles. Know your weaknesses, you win all battles. Know who you are, know your value, know what you like, what you don't like, know yourself. And you'll be able to get through any situation. Imagine what it would feel like just to be authentically you. And for me yesterday, when I saw that there was this, and he didn't realize he was doing this, I'm going to guess. But when I saw that there was this limitation of height, what do you mean I can only be 6'5", which is hilarious, y'all. I'm so serious because no, 6'6". Yeah. 6'1" plus 5 is 6'6", which is a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of human walking into, like, I don't even fit through some doorways at that point. Like I had to duck, But when I was a kid, I didn't want to be any taller because I fought it. But what was I fighting? When we have this resistance in our life, that should be a trigger. Whoa. I would say, why? Why am I fighting? And honest to goodness, the more I wear heels, the happier I am. I love it. It's amazing. And when I accept it, the world accepts it. And it's not normal for everyone. So I have to show them how to treat me. I have to show them what my value is. And when I'm comfortable with something, then other people are too. If I walked around and was like, crouching down, do you think it might make people feel awkward because I don't know how to just be? And I guarantee you are not going to feel true and authentic to yourself. So you have to know who you are. What makes you feel good? And when you find that resistance, that should be a trigger for you to say, hold on, am I trying to put myself in a box and I don't want to be in a box? This is true. This is a very, very true statement for me. Every time I figure out that I'm in a box, I want to push the heck out of it. There is one thing that Jen Sugarmeyer is not, and that is not in a box. No way. And so I will feel that sometimes. And I don't know if everybody is that way because I'm a very out of the box kind of, I beat to my own drum kind of person. And I think not everybody's like that. But when you feel that resistance in your life, look at it and say, okay, maybe I'm not being authentic to myself because something isn't mapping up here. What is that? And look at what that is for you. So who are you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you like to do? What are you doing when you're at your happiest? There are probably a lot of things that you have yet to discover about yourself. But I believe every single one of us were made perfect and maybe perfectly imperfect. And that's okay. However you are, there is only one of you. There's only one. I don't know if you follow me on social media, but I went around the lake one day and I was asking some people, I said, so if there's a Ferrari on the road and there's only one of them, and Hondas, there are thousands of them. Which one is worth more? Well, obviously the Ferrari, because there's, less of them. What if there was only one of something? You are the only one of you, the only one. You are, nobody else can bring what you got. So what do you have? What do you have that you're bringing? It's so awkward for us to look in the mirror sometimes and just say like, hey chick, or hey dude, what the heck? Who are you? And you know what? A lot of us can coast through life, myself included, and not have that conversation with ourselves. Sure, you may know if you prefer pizza over, if you like pineapples on your pizza or something, like, some of these things. But do you really know yourself? Have you really had these conversations? And I didn't. And I tell you what, before I had these conversations, I don't know if I would have stood up for myself to say, hey, I may wear 5-inch heels. You could just be okay with that. This is who I am. And I'm going to be whatever size, my hair is going to be whatever color, put whatever color lipstick on. That's going to be me. But would I have known that before without having that conversation with myself? No. And quite frankly, I was fighting so much of that. So have that conversation. If you don't truly know who you are, and you should be a forever learner, because think about when you were 16 years old. I'm assuming you're not 16 or that you're older than 16, but think back to when your younger self. Are you that person today? Have you grown from there? I am definitely not that person anymore. No way. No way. There are elements of me that are still, kind of out of the box and wearing funky things. And, there's some of those things that haven't changed. I still have, long hair, which I don't know. Do you have to have short hair when you get older? I don't know. We'll see when I cross that bridge. But for now, it's still super long. But there are things that, yes, that are the same, but there's a lot that's completely different. So as you grow, as you age, you need to be asking yourself, who are you? Because things are going to change. Priorities are going to change. Skills are going to change. Abilities are going to change. As you age, hopefully you are growing. Your skill set is growing. Your mind is growing. You are continuing to improve. You don't see a whole lot of mindset gurus that are 16 years old. No, they're older. Why? Because they have life experience. That doesn't mean you can't be an old soul and wise when you're young. I'm not saying that. But I mean, with experience, you get wiser. That takes time. So as you're growing, as you're aging, ask yourself, who am I? Who do I want to be? You've got to know this, and you've got to hold yourself to it. And others, because if you don't, then nobody else is. Like, why? I could just allow people just to dictate how tall I should be. I talk about my height a lot, but I get more examples from it than anything. Like, there's so much to talk about. I need to write a book about height because it's insane. It's so funny to be me. But people will tell me, you don't need to be taller. I'm like, really? Or is that just your opinion? But people literally tell me this. I don't walk up to people and like, don't be that short. Don't do it. Just wear some heels. But people will tell me that. So I have to stand up for myself. And it doesn't mean that I have to combat people. In fact, you can just walk away. You can walk away from those situations and just say, you know what? Because you can't have a rational conversation with an irrational person. Somebody who doesn't make sense, sometimes it's best to just leave. Because what are they going to do? What if they just don't see your point? Because we all have our beliefs. Maybe you believe that a man should be here and a woman should be here. And no matter what I say, it's never going to change. It's here, here. Okay. Well, what's that going to do? I'm going to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. Why? And then I'm not going to feel good about this. Look, if you're not open to seeing my point of view, if you aren't open to accepting me for who I am, then you're not my people. You're not my people. Hello. I'm just going to walk away. You got to know. You got to know who you're dealing with. And it starts with you. Who are you? And I can't define that for you. Only you can define that. You know, I don't walk up into a Nike store and be like, $5 for that one. No, they'd be like, oh, that's cute. Or it's $105. Thank you. Plus tax. Like, I don't go get to decide what things in the store cost. If I go to a bazaar, but I'm talking about going into a store, the Nike store, your Lululemon, your Bath and Body Works, your whatever, Bed Bath and Beyond. You don't walk up in the stores and be like, all right, I only have 37 cents. What can I get? You know, or like, this is not what can I get, but this is what I'm going to pay. The owner, the store, they determine the price. Are people coming up to you and you are allowing them to pick how much you are worth? And it's really, you know, this is why we've got to be in tune with ourselves and with our surroundings, because sometimes it'll just happen and you're like, wow, that's a new situation for me. It's easy for us to think of value in terms of money. Like, am I paid fairly at work? Yes or no? But this is value in everything in your life. So we need to expand our mind and say, where would people find value in me? And maybe there's something that you have to offer, that you have to give. And if no one is appreciating it, then maybe that's not where you put those talents. Or maybe you need to have a conversation with people, or whatever that may be. I don't know what that situation looks for you. But knowing your value doesn't mean what's your net worth of your bank account. I'm talking about you as a human. But in order for you to hold your value, you have to know your definition. So you have to know who you are. And you got to hold people to it. You got to hold them to it. Because if you don't hold people to your value and your definition, then it's just a suggestion. And we're not about making suggestions. Like, this is the rule book. In society, we have a rule book. Like, don't murder people. It's in the rule book. It's the law. Don't do it. Set guidelines for yourself and hold people to them. But it's going to come back to the same thing. Know thyself and you win all battles. Who are you? When you are at your most authentic self, what does that feel like? What does it look like? Who are you? When you start to feel that resistance, say, okay, hold on. What is going on here? Why? Why do I feel this way? Maybe I'm not being true and authentic to me. And there's so many situations, y'all. You may have had one that comes to mind and you're like, kind of, maybe not. But just pay attention to these things. Pay attention to that resistance always. There's always something in that resistance or that state of suffering. But know who you are and you will win all battles and hold other people to it and yourself. Just saying. So that's it for this week. I have a great weekend coming up, and I hope everybody else does as well. I hope you do some level of self-care, because it should be self-care Saturday or self-care Sunday or both. Take care of you, because like they say on the plane, you got to put your mask on first, because if not, and you can't breathe, you're no good to anyone else. So it's not selfish, it's self-care. That's what it is. We should all be doing it every day. You hear me? But at least do it this weekend. So I would love if you would subscribe. We are here every single day, 6 o'clock Monday through Friday, and just talking all things mindset, getting intentional about our lives and the person that we want to become and the value we want to have within ourselves and the definitions. We're defining ourselves and we're getting really clear on that. We're going out and we are showing the world who we are because we are born to stand out. That's so awkward. I need this to fit in a frame or have like a little picture of it. But born to stand out. Don't be afraid to do that, but you got to know yourself. Did I not say that like about 100 times? All right. Have a great weekend. I'll see you here on Monday.